What's up? I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Today we're going to show you how to replace your rear brake rotor on your Yamaha Rhino. The Yamaha Rhino 660s and 450s have a unique brake system in the rear. This brake rotor is actually attached to the drive shaft, and what happened with our machine, we had our brake pads wear into this. It was metal to metal, and we destroyed our brake rotor. So we need to get in there and repair it. We're going to show you how to do it on this Rhino 660. Let's get started. To start out, we've already removed our brake caliper, and if you need to know how to do that, go back and watch that video. We also removed our rear wheel. Now, if you don't have an impact gun, you're going to want to loosen up these axle nuts before you remove that brake caliper. But for us, we're just going to use an impact to take them off. Your other option is to use a pry bar in between these wheel studs to loosen up that axle nut. After that, we're going to remove this knuckle. So we're just going to remove the upper bolt. Before you remove your drive shafts, you want to make sure you drain this differential fluid. While that's draining, we're going to go ahead and work on the other side. Then we're just going to use each CV axle like a slide hammer, and they should pop right out. We still have that drain pan under. You can see a little more fluid coming down. Now we can reinstall our drain plug and our filler cap. So on top of the final drive, we have 2 bolts going through it, and we're going to loosen those up with a 14mm combo wrench and a 14mm socket. We're going to disconnect our vent hose. Now, as soon as we remove these 2 bolts, this whole final drive is going to drop down. So at this point, you might want somebody helping you do this. So we're going to move those out. We also need to slide that drive shaft forward, and then we'll just work that final drive down. To swap out this rotor, we just need to remove these 6 bolts. There's a 10mm nut on the back side. Just keep in mind when you're loosening things up, you always want to be turning the nut to break it free. Once you have the nuts off, sometimes these rotors are stuck on there, so to help break them free, you can use a plastic mallet or a dead blow hammer to tap on the rotor to help pull it off. We've gone ahead and cleaned up all our hardware. It's not a bad idea to order new hardware when you order your rotor, and that way if anything's rusted up or damaged, you have something to replace it with. Now with this, we went with the Tusk Typhoon brake rotor. There's several different options available on our website. We're also using the Honda Lock 2HT. This is a high temp, medium strength thread lock. So now we're going to install the new rotor. And even though these nuts are lock nuts, we're still using a little bit of Loctite on there. Now we'll snug the hardware up and do the final tightening by hand. Now before we put the final drive back into place, you want to make sure this rubber plug is in the end of your drive shaft. If you don't see it there, look in the end of the final drive. And then we need to grease these splines. So we'll put some on there. And now we can just guide everything into place. And again, it's going to be helpful to have somebody help you do that. Now we're going to loosely install the nuts on the backside of those mounting bolts, and then we can slide the CV axles into place. You want to make sure there's no loose dirt around that area that's going to be sliding in, and then pop it into place. And we've also greased the seals that are going to go around those CV axles. Now we can tighten the final drive mounting bolts to 51 foot-pounds. Now we're going to install our vent tube. Now we're going to clean the end of our CV axle up and the seal that it goes into, and put some fresh grease on that seal. Now we can slide the CV axle back into the knuckle. We're going to torque this upper mounting bolt to 32 foot-pounds. Install the O-ring. Now we can install the hub, and we're going to torque that nut to 190 foot-pounds, and then make sure you peen or stake that nut. And now we'll do the same steps to the other side. Now one more thing with this, usually these brake rotors come with a coating on them, and we want to wipe that and any other accidental grease or oil we got on there off. So we're just using brake cleaner on a rag to do that. And make sure you get that rubber cap pushed all the way on. Might even check the one in the front as well. Now for the final drive, we're going to add 250 cc's of oil to the ratio right, and then pour that in. Now we can install the oil filler cap, and this is going to get torqued to 17 foot-pounds. Once you have your rotor installed, you can go ahead and finish reinstalling your brakes. If you need to know how to do that, be sure to check out our video on the Yamaha Rhino rear brakes. And you're going to find that on our channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And if you need any of the parts we used today or anything else for your Rhino, be sure to check out our website. We have a lot of different options on there, and we offer free shipping on orders over $75. I'm Charles. Thanks for watching.